the Premier Series. We ran off the track after the driving meeting is completed. Now we have a total of 130 laps. We're going to have stage breaks at 25 and 55. That is 25 and 55. No fast repairs for this 6 hours. Few things to note, the only black flag will prepare fast to be able to wreck cars wrecking into the pits. We will not clear black flag for speeding through pits or unsafe entry or exit. During the restart, let's keep that pat tightened up. Land back and jump to start will result in a penalty. And when taking the green flag, you must maintain your line until you cross that stripe. After the yellow flag's out, you safely made it through your wreckage. Please catch up to the pace car immediately to prevent delaying others. And when cycling through green flag stops, state over radio what your intentions are to allow others to move around you. Good luck. Have some fun.
Good evening, DES race friends and family. It's a great night. We're down here at Homestead. Got Ryan Godfrey in the booth with us. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I am doing great. How about yourself, John?
Man, I cannot complain. It is premiere, and we've got two golden ticket winners from the previous race in here with us tonight, racing Jeff Dinda and Edwin Warren, both fellow broadcasters who have won a chance to race with the premier guys tonight. What's your take on that, Ryan?
It's always nice to see Jeff getting better and better. Edwin, it's a matter of time before he starts winning. But we are starting with the lineup now. In first place, we have Hunter Davis in the 88 and John Crosby in second. That's your row one. Row two will be Max Dinda and Jeff Dinda, father, son, starting in row two. That should be a fun battle to watch. Row three will be Brandon Hinton and Todd Perrant. Row four is Mark Holloway in the 56 and Charles Connor in the 67. Row five will be the number 4 of Chuck Burley and the number 40 of Ben Kuhn. Row six will be the 23 of Thomas Long and the number 3 of Sean Dion. Row seven will be the 32 of Jonathan Geist and the 002 of Edwin Warren, a golden ticket winner. And finishing up the rows of row 8 with the 35 of Judson Curtis.
So there you have it. That's our grid breakdown. It's interesting to see, like you said, father son starting in second and or in third and fourth side by side, and then right behind Max Dinda you have the number 5 of Brandon Hinton, that is a teammate of Jeff Dinda.
Yeah, I can't agree more. It's going to be a fun battle because Max is a hard charger and Jeff is, in my opinion, the complete opposite. He'll sit back and wait for the opportunity and somehow finish top 3 every time.
He does. He's so patient, and he's always saying I'm nervous. I don't feel that confident, and he is just constantly week in and week out getting better and faster and better and faster. Being teammates with Brandon Hinton and Hinton Motorsports, he has really learned a lot and he has improved so much. But it's definitely going to be fun to watch that battle for who's better between father and son.
It's feeling like a Earnhardt and Earnhardt Jr. kind of moment here, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Absolutely. But you can't count out the number 1 and number 2. John Crosby and Hunter Davis, both very accomplished drivers here in DES. As we are about to go green, there's the green flag, and it looks like Hunter Davis is going to have a slight edge on the jump, but Jonathan Crosby right there close behind, and so is Max Dinda, as we see Jeff Dinda kind of taking the high side and falling back a little bit there. I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see, Jeff Dinda try to fight back up here in a little while.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to stay out of everyone's way and let them just look through their materials. Jeff is incredibly talented at just saving what he has until the very, very last moment when it actually matters. So I'm not even worried about him being back there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hunter Davis just setting an early pace, kind of holding his own there. Jonathan Crosby right behind. Max Dinda, of course, in third. Brandon Hinton in fourth. Mark Holloway moving up into the 5th spot. Todd Perrant in 6th. Ben Kuhn in 7th. Chuck Burley in 8th. Charles Connor in 9th. And to round out the top 10 right now, Judson Curtis. Do want to go ahead and note this will be a 130 lap race with stage breaks at laps 25 and 55. So I expect that lap 25 we'll see everybody kind of start to come in and get some tires, possibly get some fuel. What do you think there, Ryan?
Yeah, that's the smart move. I would 100% take fuel and tires. This place, if you're not running right, it's just going to eat everything up, and you're kind of just wasting fuel at that point and killing your tires for no reason. But yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this. I think tires and fuel probably a good call.
Yeah, prior to the race, I was talking with TRN teammate of mine, Hunter Davis, and he was saying somewhere between laps 35 and 40, he would expect to see people starting to make their way down pit road for fuel. They get about 36 or so laps on a fuel tank in these trucks. Four laps into the premier race here at DESI Racing at Homestead Motor Speedway. And Hunter Davis still holding a solid lead there, putting up about 0.2 of a second gap above Crosby, Maxton in third, almost over a second behind Crosby there. And yeah, it's right now it's Hunter Davis and Jonathan Crosby, and then the rest of the pack.
It feels like every time I watch a premiere or broadcast with you guys, John's always up in the front.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Last week, it was unfamiliar territory for Jonathan Crosby, and you know, it was like once in a lifetime type deal. You know, you just see the John Crosby show get shut off and it becomes somebody else's show. But this week he's, you know, right back up there in the top three, just holding familiar territory and racing strong with Hunter Davis, which, you know, they always put on a heck of a show.
Hunter Davis seems like he's pulling away from John, though. I don't think John has a line figured out correctly, but he's got enough speed to carry on.
I don't know that it's that he doesn't have the line figured out. I think it's going to be more of the fact he's probably just saving at this moment.
Trying to keep himself from getting passed again, but not enough. Chuck Burley gets by Todd Perrant.
Yeah, Chuck Burley getting around Todd Perrant. Ben Kuhn is pushing in on the back end of number 56, Mark Holloway. And of course, as you mentioned with Chuck Burley getting around Perrant, he's right there in the mix for that as well. And Ben Kuhn finally able to make the pass on the 56 of Mark Holloway and still continuing to hold that high line. Now, one thing that I do remember hearing prior to the race from several people is that the high line definitely does carry more speed on this track. So, you know, seeing some of these guys take that high line, trying to make the moves that they're trying to make is definitely going to be helpful. But the downside to that line is it is going to burn up your tires quicker.
Yeah, I agree. Also, another downside I have always run into while racing here is in one wrong move, you're in the wall and causing a caution or just destroying your own car. But no issues with that here tonight. Everyone seems to be very intuitive and knowledgeable on running that high line.
You know, you're absolutely right. And we see a battle now between Chuck Burley and Ben Kuhn for that 5th and 6th spot. Chuck Burley currently holding the 5th spot, but Ben is definitely not going away and staying right there with him.
Chuck Burley trying to get a pass on the number 5 of Brandon Hinton. See if he can do it coming out of 1 and 2.
Yeah, Brandon Hinton running that high line, and you know that's the thing about Brandon Hinton. He finds a line that he can work and that he feels comfortable with, and once he finds that line, he makes things happen.
Usually it's on the bottom too, so it's pretty neat to see him get some speed on that higher line.
Yeah, absolutely, it is.
Past Kuhn right now.
Ben running that high line, and he is getting the pass now on Brandon Hinton, moving himself into 4th, and he is tracking down Max Stenda now for that 3rd place spot.
The 5
now
seems like he was significantly off pace.
Hey, absolutely, it does. 35 getting around him, and Chuck Burley getting around him now as well, and he's still falling back to the pack. Todd Perron pushing in on the back bumper of Brandon Hinton as the 56 of Mark Holloway is right above his door. Hunter Davis still currently leading this race, but Jonathan Crosby right there with him. And then 2 seconds back, well, actually almost 3 seconds back is the beginning of the rest of the pack with Max and Judson Curtis in the 35 and Ben Kuhn and the 40 machine. P6, Chuck Burley, Mark Holloway in 7th, Brandon Hinton 8th, falling back, Todd Perron 9th, and Charles Connor in 10th. And to round out the top 15, we've got Edwin Warren, Jonathan Geist, Jeff Dinda, Thomas Long, and Sean Dion.
It's interesting to see Edwin Warren sitting just outside the top 10. Usually he's pretty hard charging and wanting to get up front. So just seeing him back there, I don't know if he's taking his time or having issues or just doesn't want to get into a contact, but
I'm going to say for Edwin, he's just trying to be patient, waiting for opportunities to make clean passes. You know, we joke a lot about Edwin and his tactics, but I think, you know, he's trying to just show that he does have what it takes to be a patient driver and race a clean race.
I believe that's the missing link. But John Crosby getting into the wall.
Crosby getting into the wall. Single truck incident there. Good job by him to hold and not lose control of that truck.
Seemed like he just kept the same speed too. Like, he doesn't seem like he slowed down at all.
No, it did put him off pace just a touch, but I mean, he's already back up there on pace with Hunter. "20 laps in the book, so here in the next 5 laps, we'll have our first stage break, and we'll see most of these guys dip down into the pits. And you know, it'll be interesting to see who does go into the pits and who stays out.
Edwin Warren completing a pass on Charles Connor, getting around him. Now he's in the top 10. Ooh, Chuck Burley hitting the wall at the start-finish line.
Yeah, coming across that start-finish line, got a little loose, hit the wall. Slowed him down just a little bit, but, you know, kind of like what we saw with Crosby, he's just maintained it and holding it steady. But I will say, if we look at that gap that Hunter Davis is putting up now, he's extended that gap out to nearly 0.7 of a second. So it makes you wonder what kind of damage Crosby got when he hooked up into the wall. Judson Curtis making a pass on Max Stenda to get into the third position, and now he's gunning towards John Crosby. Is he going to have the pace to catch up with Jonathan Crosby and get into second place for the stage break?
Really falling back even further.
Ben Kuhn is also fallen back to 7th place. Jeff Denda now up inside the top 10 with Edwin Warren in 9th. Crosby trying to close that gap back off a little bit on Hunter Davis. But Hunter Davis, for this first 25 laps, as the caution comes out for the stage break, has just absolutely dominated and put on a clinic on how to, get into first and by setting the pole and just holding on to it. So we're going to see him come down to the pits here in just a moment. But at this time, we're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your sink is in trouble, you could call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is my bank account. For super service, call or text Super Mario Bros. Plumbing today at 929-55-MARIO. Or reach us on the World Wide Web at smbplumbing.com.
Anybody home?
In here.
Whoa, Jenny, is your sister home?
No. But I'm here.
Congratulations. You passed the test.
A test?
I put my sister up to it.
Oh, Jake. You do love me.
Try to make friends.
Want a Dorito?
Hey, everyone. The new containing out Doritos.
Doritos?
You make friends.
And there's your
Welcome back, DES fans. I want to point out something right now. We do have a little bit of a lead change. Judson Curtis in first place, beating everybody off pit row, but he did so only by taking fuel and then letting everybody know once he got out on track that he was on old rubber. So everybody else in the field, as the pace car comes off, has got fresh rubber, except for Judson Curtis. As we go green, he's going to get a good jump, and he's going to get out in front of Hunter Davis. Ryan, do you think that's going to hurt him in the long run?
I can see it hurting him, as Hunter and John right now are fighting to get by him, and Hunter completes the pass. John's starting to complete. Oh, we're wrecking out of turn 2.
A huge wreck in the
massive
back.
wreck.
That was a huge wreck. We're going to get back here in just a moment as we are under caution to see who that was involved, but that was a massive wreck coming into turn 2. Well, it sounded like it was going to be between Ben Kuhn and somebody there that was involved in that incident. 23. It's going to be Thomas Long and Ben Kuhn. Thomas Long looked like he got a little loose there and went down low.
The 32
and then the 32 of Jonathan Geist as well, yeah.
Ben Kuhn just gets collected by, I believe that's Thomas Long.
And Jonathan Geist, just solo incident, got loose there, coming out almost like he put a little too much stall in too soon and kind of self-spun out there. Unfortunate for Ben Kuhn, Thomas Long, and Jonathan Geist there, as they're all down in the pits. But that'll be the first caution that we've had. We had 25 laps with no caution, and then right as soon as we come out of the restart from the stage break, we have a 2-car incident with a solo incident, and we're under caution now, so we're going to go to a commercial break. Welcome back, DES iRacing fans. We are back with you, getting ready to go green in just a moment when we come around to the start-finish line. Hunter Davis is going to be in first. Judson Curtis in P2. Jonathan Crosby in P3 with Max Stenda in P4. Brandon Hinton in P5. Curtis is still on old rubbers, as he called out during the caution there. we'll see the pace car come off. What we were talking about before, Ryan, that decision is going to come back to haunt Judson Curtis.
Yeah, I didn't understand the logic in it, but we have Hunter Davis just fighting off John Crosby, who's trying to get that pass on. Judson's still top 5. He's still holding off. So maybe the strategy worked, got him up front, but only time will tell. Next stage is at 55, so if he can hold off until then. Oh, Crosby getting
John
sideways.
Crosby getting sideways and doing his best to maintain it.
Beautiful
and he
save
does,
by
but he
Crosby.
drops back. What a save. That might even be the save of the race right there by Jonathan Crosby after getting sideways and holding on to it.
Edwin Warren up in 5th now.
Edwin Warren in 5th, but Todd Perrott, man, that's a name that we don't get to say a whole lot, you know, being up in the front of the pack. And he has moved all the way up into 3rd place. Max Stenda, of course, in 2nd place, looking to try to push down on Hunter Davis. But Hunter has just set a pace right now that is going to be really hard for anybody to catch up with.
'69 trying to get around the 48 here. 48 looks like he's getting kind of squirrely, a little loose on his back end there, but pulled him off.
Absolutely, and you know we were looking at the back of the 69 of Todd Perrott there, and I noticed that it was that it said autism. You know, I want to give a big shout out to anybody that supports Autism Speaks. It is such a great organization that you know helps children and even adults with autism to be able to cope with and find mechanics that help them to cope with their daily lives. And you know, it's a wonderful organization.
Absolutely, that was very well said, actually. '73 of John Crosby is holding off Edwin Warren. I don't know if he's holding him off or Edwin's just saving his stuff for this long run here, but for a second there it looked like Edwin was going to get around him, but John's slowly pulling away.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to outdo the long run king of John Crosby for saving your materials. All right, folks, we are back with you after taking care of a little bit of a technical trackside issue there. Hunter Davis is still just holding a 1.3 to 1.2.5 second lead over Max Stenda. Todd Perrott still trying to fight for that number 2 spot right now, though, taken to the low side, and it looks like he might have the line, but coming off, Max is just going to have more speed carried out into that straight and being on that high line. And that just goes back to what we said earlier in the race, that high line does give you a little bit of an advantage in the speed category. How long do you think it's going to be before Todd Perrott can make that pass on Max there, Ryan?
Within the next 5 laps. Every time the camera's on these two, you just see to 69, trying to peek under him real quick, see if you can get him on the low side. And even the last lap there, they were running neck and neck. But I would be looking more for John Crosby to start passing them, because he's caught up after his issues and incidents with him falling back a little bit. He's right on their bumper.
Absolutely, he is. And you see that he's holding that high line. He's going to try to take that high line to get around Todd Pratt. And as soon as I say that, he follows Max and Todd down to the low line. Edwin Warren still holding in fifth. Jeff Denda, the man of the night right there, still holding in the top 10 here with these premier guys. I would venture to say probably next season you will see Jeff Denda in with these premier guys.
I 100% agree. He 100% deserves it. John Crosby trying to get a pass here.
Yeah, John Crosby trying to get a pass. Todd Pratt trying to get around Max. Max doing a really good job of holding these guys off and holding second place. But, you know, when you got two guys fighting to get around you, it makes it really hard to defend the entire track.
Absolutely. And not only that, you're worried about burning up your material if this person's going to get too close, trying to be a safe driver around them, trying to be a decent driver around them, as John Crosby makes the pass around Todd Pratt, looking for that pass back into second place, trying to reclaim his spot.
He is. Max is doing a really good job, though, of fending off any pass attempts by John Crosby and Todd Pratt both. So, you know, Max has really made a big splash the past few weeks, both in Premier and in Gen 4s and in the regular truck series. You know, he's really showing his dedication to being one of these top racing guys and why he is in Premier.
Even last season, he was just unstoppable. Almost every race, he was either top 3, top 5, or winning that race. And it makes sense to see him here.
Oh, Edwin Warren making a charge up on Todd Pratt now, trying to put some pressure and looking for a bid to get around Todd Pratt.
Ooh, Crosby making contact with the 48 of Max, getting him sideways. Max getting more sideways, hits Todd Pratt.
Bounces off Todd right into the wall. That'll bring out a caution flag here on lap 47. Wow.
Here we go to the replay.
Yeah, Max was already getting a little bit loose. Excuse me, I had a sneeze build up. All right, we are back with you, DES race fans, friends, and family. Hunter Davis in first, Jonathan Crosby to his outside, and P2 after the unfortunate mishap with Max Dinda and his little wreck. Man, we're 5 laps. We're going to be 5 laps from stage break when we come back from this caution, Ryan. So how do you think that's going to play out?
I see Hunter and John just fighting for stage points at this point. Maybe even Todd Perront trying to get up there. As we now have Edwin Warren starting in third as we're coming out of the turn, ready to get this restart going.
Yeah, I think that they're going to play out for stage points, but what's going to be interesting to see is we're about to go green is going to be who pits during the stage break. Hunter Davis with a huge jump, getting up top, getting in front of John Crosby. We've got Edwin Warren right now in second as he gets around Crosby. Charles Connor is in fourth, Todd Perront in fifth, Brandon Hinton in sixth, Judson Curtis in seventh, and Jeff Dinda all the way up into eighth now. Sean Dion in ninth, and Holloway in the 56 machine rounding out the top 10. Hunter Davis right now just a commanding lead after that huge jump there. Do you see that Hunter Davis is going to take the stage here as well as he did the first stage?
I 100% think that. Honestly, if I'm him, this is the happiest I'd ever be seeing Edwin behind me, because Edwin, not a premier driver, not worried about him getting stage points. Oh, John's in third. Edwin's fast. We all know he is. So if I'm Hunter Davis, I'm extremely happy to see where I'm at right now.
Absolutely. And two, you got to think about the fact that Hunter Davis and Edwin Warren are both TRN, so they are teammates. John Crosby taking the high side, looking to try to set up to make a pass around Edwin Warren, who gets a little bit loose there. Maintains control, slides up behind Hunter Davis, and now you've got Hunter Davis, Edwin Warren, and John Crosby all right there in close proximity racing each other.
Yeah, John trying to get that pass, just not having enough juice to do it, but slowly falling back too.
I know Edwin really wants to get a win in a premier race just to show he's got what it takes to be a premier guy, as John Crosby shoots down to the low side trying to set up a pass around Edwin Warren, and Edwin doing a good job here of keeping himself in front of the pace of John Crosby. But I was saying that I know that he would love to get himself a win, but I think he would also like to help his teammate to maintain position and get these stage points.
Absolutely. I think that's the right call to make. But, I mean, if you have a shot to win it, why not just win it? As we have John Crosby finally completing the pass. That was a nice little run to watch. Edwin Warren getting under him, though. We got Max.
And we've got somebody down here on the low side. And that's going to bring out the 55 lap stage break. So going into the stage break, we got Hunter Davis, Edwin Warren in P2, John Crosby in P3. Sorry, it's going to be Crosby in P2, Edwin Warren in P3, Charles Connor in P4, Brandon Hinton in 5th, Todd Perront in 6th, Jeff Dinda in 7th, Judson Curtis in 8th, Mark Holloway in 9th, and Sean Dion rounding out the top 10. We're going to go to a commercial break here while we finish up this stage break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment.
Mom,
Can I have a popsicle?
No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey parents, tired of those out-of-control kids? Throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go. At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing Nap Time, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to Nap Time. It's never been so quiet around here.
The secret lies in Naptime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, Naptime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! Naptime works in any situation. On the golf course. An awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
After we had our first child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to Nap Time, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of Naptime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more! Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't breathe good.
So if this looks familiar...
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait! Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying...
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time.
Nap Time! When they just won't shut up. Nap Time is not legal in the following states.
And we are back, ready for the restart on lap 57, about to be 58. We have Hunter Davis and John Crosby starting the lines out here, and we're off. Green flag, racing is back on. Hunter Davis with a giant start. And Edwin moving past John. John getting a very, very solid run out of the turn. That's what the high line will do for you. Let's see if he can finally nope. Edwin fights him off. John sticking high, Edwin low. Hunter Davis very happy to see his teammate behind him, holding off John, helping him get a win, hopefully. Edwin getting kind of loose
coming out of four back there.
Yeah. Ooh. Little kiss of the wall back there.
You know, one thing that can be said about Edwin Warren is, you know, he's known for being aggressive, but he tries to do so in a safe manner. But right now, what I'm watching him do is he is mimicking the path that his teammate Hunter Davis is taking. John Crosby is electing to stay on that high line, and he's getting a little bit of pace back on Hunter Davis right now.
I'm noticing it just now after you say it. It's kind of funny. Him and Hunter Davis are running like, oh, it seems like identical, like exactly identical lines. Like they're going the same distance to the bottom. Well, Edwin once again proves me wrong, but.
All right, we are back with you. Hunter Davis still holding the 0.5 of a second lead over John Crosby. Edwin Warren, of course, in third. Todd Perron in fourth. Brandon Hinton in fifth. I'm going to go ahead and ask this now, Ryan. Usually on these premier races, we ask, how do you think it's going to shape up coming up to the end? Do you see Hunter Davis being able to win, or do you see John Crosby by the end of the race being able to make a pass and win over Hunter Davis?
I really got two opinions here, and I'll give both. My first one being the professional opinion. I think it's going to end exactly how it started. Hunter Davis first, John Crosby second. And then there's my biased opinion. And my teammate, John Crosby, beer run, running in second. I always want to see him win. And usually it's been the John Crosby show, especially in Premier League these recent few weeks, not last week, but every other week it's the John Crosby show. So I'd love to see him win, but honestly, I'm going with the professional opinion here. I think going to be Hunter Davis and John Crosby in that order.
You know, barring any kind of major catastrophe, I think you're absolutely right on that. And the only reason I can agree with that, it seems like Hunter Davis has the line figured out more than John Crosby on this track. Normally, John Crosby has the lines figured out. He knows what lines work on the track, and it seems like this one, Hunter Davis just has the line pegged a little bit smoother and a little bit better than Crosby, and that's what's allowing him to hold now over 1 second lead over John Crosby in the rest of the field.
Yeah, Crosby just hasn't been able to get to him, which, biased opinion, is unfortunate, but Hunter Davis for sure has this figured out, and it's very fun to watch and learn.
Absolutely, it's always a pleasure watching these guys race. It's always it's always fun to watch the best of the best from DES get it on in the Premier Truck Series. Jeff Dinda holding his own in the top 10, 7.5 seconds behind the leader of Hunter Davis. Of course, Ben Kuhn, Jonathan Geis, Thomas Long, their races got ended early as they are all still sitting in the pits, 39 to 40 laps down. Unfortunate to see those guys have the incident that they had earlier. Really good guys. Love talking with Geist and Ben Kuhn, and love racing with those guys as well. All right, so we're going to go inside the car with Hunter Davis right now, as he is the race leader and 1.3 seconds ahead of John Crosby and the rest of the pack. Of course, Crosby has set his own pace ahead of Edwin Warren now. And you can see Hunter is just clean racing these lines. We are back with you, DES race fans. Inside the truck of Hunter Davis, as you can see, he's just kind of feathering out that throttle and coming into these turns, and then feathering the throttle back in and just slowly working his way back up to speed. It hits the straightaways.
Edwin Warren there was getting loose coming out of turn 2, I believe. Judson is now moving to make a pass on Edwin.
Indeed, and Edwin's going to just hold that high line. Todd Perront coming in on the top side on that high line behind Edwin. He did get a little loose, got off pace, but I would look for Edwin to get his pace back pretty soon, you know, just not fall too far back and get back in it. Mark Holloway has moved his way up into 10th place, pushing Jeff Binda up into 9th. Sean Dion in 8th, Brandon Hinton in 7th, Charles Connor in 6th, Todd Perront in 5th, Judson Curtis in 4th, Edwin Warren still holding 3rd now, John Crosby in 2nd, and Hunter Davis in 1st, rounding out the top 10 there. John Crosby is trying to do everything he can to find a way to catch up with Hunter, but Hunter Davis just continues to extend that lead. I mean, he's up to, you know, now 1.6 and at times 1.7 over John Crosby. And then, of course, John Crosby has set his pace against the rest of the field, as he is about a second and a half, almost 2 seconds faster than Judson Curtis and Edwin Warren. Edwin Warren getting a little loose. What a save by Edwin. I mean, just got loose bad, he says on the track, Mike. Slides down the track, back up the track, maintains control of it. He does lose position to Todd Perront as Todd moves into 4th, but what a great job of controlling that truck by Edwin Warren and keeping from having a major catastrophe. Brandon Hinton and was that Charles Connor were door to door coming through the turns there, but Brandon Hinton continuing to hold the position right in front of Charles Connor. You know, that is somebody that I think don't think you can count out is Brandon Hinton. He has ways of making things just look seamlessly easy on these tracks, and he is pushing low now to try to make a pass on Edwin Warren. Warren's gonna come down and block him off.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying about Hinton. I think racing him, he just knows how to get his car to stick to the track in ways I've never seen anybody else do it. Passing him's not very easy. Getting passed by him is very easy. If you make a mistake, he's so consistent, it's going to be easy for him to pass you. And especially here, he's a low line king, and when tires get worn, he can run that low line more and more and more. It's going to be easier for him to pass. So you really can't count him out.
No, you sure cannot. Judson Curtis up here trying to make a bid on getting past John Crosby. And he's going to get past Crosby for second place. And, you know, it's interesting. Judson Curtis is the one that elected to not take tires through the first caution. And Brandon Hinton trying to stay in front of Todd Perront, right behind the 92 of Edwin Warren for that P4, P5 battle, and also P6 battle. And Charles Connor right there behind him in P7. I'm not sure what happened to Chuck Hurley, but he is a lap down now. Jeff Benda all the way up in 8th place, as you can see him kind of back off the pace of Charles Connor there. And the green machine.
Seems like the 35 of Judson is catching up to Hunter Davis.
Yeah, Judson has really made a heavy push here. He's catching up to Hunter and closed that gap tremendously, as Hunter now has a 2-second gap over Crosby, but only a 7/10 of a second lead over Judson. He is just continually working that high line and pushing. Of course, you know, stage break was at 55. We've been green since the stage break. So we're 35 laps this time around on fuel. So these guys are going to have to pit before too long. And it's going to be, you know, green flag pitting, it looks like. And so, you know, tires are definitely going to need to be taken, more than likely. Also fuel. You know, how do you think that's going to play out for these guys? Are they going to take fuel, tires? Judson's probably on fresher tires than any of the rest of the pack.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that right now. Judson looking to make a pass to make it the second or third leader change of the race, I believe. He's going low. But as far as pitting and taking fuel and tires, I would take everything I can get. Judson completing the pass. I would take anything I could get on pit road to try to make the rest of this race easier. And I think the question isn't what they're going to take, it's when and who is going to go down first and take it.
Absolutely. 100% correct there. You know, it's going to be a matter of who's going to take it first. And here comes the 48 of Max Stenda. "28 laps down, and he has made a charge out here to the front of the field, and he's looking to even pass up Judson Curtis here and unlap himself one lap and bring himself to 27 laps down."
Absolutely unfortunate that Max got into that incident there with John and then got loose right after recovering, because, I mean, look at the speed of him.
Absolutely. Max, you know, runs fast week in and week out. You know, I had talked with Max last week, and he was saying how happy he was to get to race Homestead. It said it's one of his favorite tracks to run here on iRacing, and I mean, it shows. It shows how well he can run this track right here. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's very unfortunate that he was involved in that incident and is now sitting 27 laps down. Judson Curtis still holding first and holding a good pace over Hunter Davis, as he is nearly 0.8 of a second out in front of Hunter.
And 73 at Crosby falling back another second behind the leader. 73 pitting now, I believe.
Yep, because he has dropped all the way back down to 8. So Crosby heading to the pits now. I figure it'll probably be another couple of laps before we see Hunter go down into the pits. He likes to run it to the maximum. You know, he doesn't want to leave he wants to pull into pit row on fumes. That way he can maximize the amount of gas that he takes.
Yeah, I've been noticing that. I don't ever usually get to race against him because he's usually in the front, but he always stays up there and he always talks pit strategy sometimes on the track mic and just him ask stuff. So it's going to be a battle. I don't know if John pitting a couple laps before was a good call or not, but I think this is going to be a good finish.
Oh, absolutely it is. You know, it's always an exciting finish with these premier guys, but this one's shaping up like it's going to be a battle to the end.
Judson growing his lead even further, almost 2 seconds in front of Hunter Davis. So I expect to see them come down within the next couple of laps.
Absolutely. Edwin Warren sitting in third right behind Hunter Davis, Charles Connor in the fourth, Todd Perront in fifth. You know, I mentioned the fact that teammates are back to back though, because typically when they start talking pit strategy, you'll see TRN all come down the pits together. And somebody just called out that they were going down the pits this time by, I think it was 67 of Connor. Yep, and as we can see, Charles Connor coming down into pit road.
Jeff Dinda now up in fifth. Top Perront in fourth, and then our normal top three.
Yeah, it's so nice to see Jeff Dinda finally working his way up into a top five.
I think it's more enjoyable. Hunter Davis pitting now this lap.
Yep, Hunter Davis is going to pit, and there goes the 73 of John Crosby. I'm just kind of curious to see if Edwin's going to... Nope, he stayed out.
Jeff Dinda now up in second. As we were saying though about Jeff, it's so nice to see him win a race. I remember when he started, he just wanted to stay in the back and just ride back there the entire time. And now he's leading races or being in the top 3 or top 5 and winning races. It's great to see. As the 69 comes into pit, Jeff Dinda is the new leader currently.
He is, but sadly, he will have to come down pit road at some point. We hear him on track might say, just got to make those broadcasters say my name. But Jeff, buddy, we've been saying it all night. Look, we're proud of you for getting the golden ticket and, you know, being here in the premier race. Congratulations for winning the previous race. You know, we love Jeff Dinda. He's one of our fellow broadcasters. John Crosby in second, Brandon Hinton in third, Judson Curtis in fourth, Hunter Davis in fifth, Connor in sixth, Edwin Warren in seventh, Todd Perront in eighth, Sean Dion in ninth, and Chuck Burley rounding out the top 10. You know, it's going to be interesting to see here now that Hunter Davis has got fresh tires, how quick he's going to be able to pass Judson Curtis.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you're Hunter, you're really questioning if you want to pass at this current stage in the race, because if you start burning up your equipment and you still have 2 more passes to make to get first, like, is it really worth it?
Yeah, and now we can see the 84 of Jeff Tenda coming down into pit road. But with that, that puts John Crosby as the race leader. Brandon Hinton 1.5 seconds behind John Crosby. Judson Curtis 4.6 seconds behind. And then Hunter Davis and Judson Curtis are just fighting for that 3 and 4 spot right now. Yeah, this is a place where Crosby is familiar, and he is so good in these long runs and being able to maintain, and I think undercutting the way that he did could be the difference in him winning this race or not.
I'm not sure if he'll have enough fuel. He's 12 laps since his last pit stop.
This is true.
28 to go. These cars can get how much? How many laps per tank? About 35?
Yeah, 35 to 40 on the pit window for fuel. So, I mean, most of these guys are probably going to have to take possibly 1 more pit stop. But John Crosby is known for being a clutcher and being able to clutch in the curves and save fuel while not losing any speed. Max hates to see the fact that John Crosby is coming up as fast as he is, because he does not want to go back down to 27 laps down.
Hunter Davis slowly catching up to John Crosby. Judson seems like he's saving. We have Charles Carr in 5th, Edwin Warren in 6th, Perrant in 7th, Sean Dion in 8th, Jeff Tenda still in the top 10 at 9th, and Chuck Burley 1 lap down to 10th.
Yeah, John Crosby just got back around Max, putting Max back down to 27 laps down. It's so unfortunate that happened. Brandon Hinton now closing the gap on John Crosby, and almost got it down to less than a second. So he is definitely on pace with Crosby. Hunter Davis in 3rd, closing the gap as well. And Judson Curtis not far behind Hunter.
Yeah, there's still a lot of laps left in this race, too, for them to get all the way back up there, and it seems like they're making great progress.
And the 23 laps this time around. Hunter Davis closing the gap on Brandon Hinton right now. Looking off the backside of that monster truck from of Brandon Hinton's at the 88 of Hunter Davis.
As Hinton and Hunter Davis are now within 1 second in closing on John Crosby.
Indeed, and you know, we just had a thing that showed the current lap and the fastest lap of Brandon Hinton, which was down around the 33 mark. I would like to see if we could get that same card for Hunter Davis and kind of compare their lap times. The Hunter Davis fastest lap is 32.737 with a 33.681. So he's now in front of Brandon Hinton, but he did have a little bit faster pace than Brandon. And now Judson Curtis actually getting past Brandon as well. So it looks like Brandon Hinton might be slowing down a little bit.
Hunter Davis should be. Ooh, Judson coming back to fight with Hunter, door to door.
Hunter Davis and John Crosby door to door now. Judson Curtis coming up on the backside.
Three wide almost. Hunter completing a pass on John Crosby. Judson looking to do the same to Hunter.
Yep, taking that low line. Hunter's going to hold that mid line. And Hunter's going to try to work that high line right now. But Judson Curtis currently is going to hold the number one spot coming across the start finish line, and they are closing in on Jeff Dinda now, and in danger of going a lap down, and he's going to move down to the bottom side and just let them have it.
Judson getting around Hunter. Brandon Hinton looking to pass John Crosby now.
So right now the 1, 2, 3 is Judson Curtis, Hunter Davis, Brandon Hinton, with Crosby and Connor rounding out the top 5. And I mean, they're just all right here in this little pack. Hunter Davis going to shoot down to the bottom side, try to dive bomb in the turn to get around Judson, but he is not going to make it. And it looks like Max is trying to help Hunter here to give him a push to get around Judson, with Brandon Hinton coming around in 3rd and John Crosby in 4th.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was just watching it happen though.
Got a quick view of the 69 of Todd Front there.
Edmund Warren getting back into the top 5. He makes a pass on Charles Connor.
Yeah, Edwin Warren getting the pass, like you say, on Charles Connor. He's still 10 seconds down, but actually 10 and a half seconds, but he looks like he's got pretty good pace with that top group, so he might be able to catch up with them pretty soon.
Yeah, just a couple laps ago, he was 13 to 14 seconds down, so I think he's just pacing himself for this big finish here.
Judson Curtis doing a really good job of holding that line that he's running and staying in first. I mean, running a 1.2 to 1.3 second gap over Hunter Davis.
As Max Stenda seeks to unlap himself once again.
Indeed, taking himself from 29 to 28 laps down. And now Hunter Davis with Brendan Hinton coming up on his bumper to hopefully give them a push and get them both closer up to Judson Curtis. We're going to take a moment and step inside the cab of Judson Curtis's truck and let you hear some of the race sounds of the track from Judson's view of the front of the field. All right, and we are back with you, DES Racing fans. Guess what? We are almost 5 laps to go. This time around, we will be 5 laps to go till the end of the race. Judson Curtis has lapped Sean Dion, as we saw from the inside look of his truck. Hunter Davis in second, Brandon Hinton in third, John Crosby, I'm sorry, in fourth, and Edwin Warren in the top 5, holding out the fifth place spot. So, you know, we said earlier that we saw Hunter Davis taking the win. Do you think he's got what it takes for the next 5 laps to be able to catch and pass Judson Curtis?
Maybe. I mean, we've seen he caught John in no time. Like, he was almost 4 seconds down and then made a pass, and he's slowly chipping away at the time. But I think Judson just saved enough, and Brandon Hinton is giving Hunter some trouble right now, trying to complete a pass and probably making Hunter feel a little uncomfortable and trying to run a line to keep him from doing that. So,
well, and you know, you got to look at the fact too. They're gonna try to get around Sean Dion and you know, clear that traffic as well, which is helping Judson Curtis at the moment be able to put more time in between him and them.
Yeah, absolutely. But do I think Hunter can get back up there? Absolutely. I think it's possible, but I don't know. Justin's just way too fast right now, as we have 4 laps to go until checkered flag.
And we see Brandon Hinton dropping down to the inside, gonna look to make a pass on Hunter Davis and Sean Dion here to get into that second place spot.
Brandon Hinton coming out of turn 2, I believe, getting clear of Hunter Davis almost. Hunter is not getting that spot up very easily, but Sean Dion in front of you, not trying to force it 3 wide. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, Brandon Hinton successfully getting clear as we come across the start-finish line. 2 laps to go. Looking to get around Sean Dion now. And Hunter Davis is just kind of holding back there. You know, if it stays the way that it is right now, I mean, Hunter Davis is still going to have a podium finish. Brandon Hinton in second, and then Judson Curtis will be the race winner.
As the white flag is out, this is the final lap of the race. Leaders right now is Judson with a 3-second lead on Brandon Hinton and Hunter Davis. John Crosby in 4th, Edwin Warren in 5th.
Yeah, and to finish out the top 10, Charles Connor, Todd Front, Sean Dion, Jeff Denda, and Chuck Burley. And it's interesting to note, Todd Front is in 7th place, and that's the last person. As we see Judson Curtis win the race right there, Todd Perron was the last one on the lead lap. Brandon Hinton coming in second, Hunter Davis in third. Podium finishes for those 3. John Crosby in 4th. Edwin Warren, just heard him on the track mic say that he got 5th place in a DES race with 0 incidents. So proud for him on that. Hunter Davis, congratulations on a podium finish tonight. You led the first 2 stage breaks. You led most of the race with 82 laps. What was going through your mind when you seen Judson Curtis coming up in your rear view?
From the start, I didn't have anything for Judson. He's got that high line figured out a lot better than I do. So, you know, I knew once he got to me, my best thing would be to try to hold the bottom and see if I could defend as much as possible. Once the tires started to wear and we kind of started countering some lap traffic, it made it a little more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was watching you most of the race. You kept running that high line. You were getting the good lap times, you know, just staying up there, but like you say, Judson did seem to have it figured out just a little bit better. The one other big question I got for you is, when you and Brandon got up there around Sean Dion, is that what slowed you down and gave Brandon the ability to get past you, or was that just tires a factor in that as well?
100%. I mean, it's one of the two main racing line. You got the high line or the low line. So, I mean, he chose the high line, and it just happened to be where I was at, and there wasn't really much I could do there. I mean, regardless, it was fun racing with Brandon, and congrats to Judson. That was a good battle at the end.
Absolutely, it was. Ryan, you got anything for Hunter?
You stole my question. I know it's not the finish you wanted, Hunter, but congrats on the third place.
I am content with it. Running up front, that's the big thing is you do the nickel and dime, you do the small things, and those lead up to big things. So regardless of first, second, or third, I'm happy with the podium, and I look forward to carrying it next week. And it's always fun racing out there with Brandon and Judson up there for the win. So congrats to both of those guys.
All right, and that was Hunter Davis. Next, we're going to get up here with us Brandon Hinton, our number 2 finisher tonight. Brandon Hinton, congratulations on a podium finish tonight.
Thank you, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Indeed, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was definitely an interesting race. Homestead's always a fun track to watch races on. It is one that can bring out the cautions, as we saw tonight. What was going through your mind when that first early caution come out just after the stage break? Like, what are you thinking at that moment as far as what to do for do you hit pit road, stay out?
Yeah. I think we stayed out. I can't remember, but knowing that the stage 2 is coming. But this track lends itself to long green flag runs, and that's what I love. I love being able to save tire and see what I can do on a long run. So that was a lot of fun tonight towards the end and everything. But I love this track, and it was a lot of fun.
Right on. So what was going through your mind as you were closing in on Hunter and Sean Dion at the moment that you were able to make the pass?
Yeah, that got a little hairy, didn't it? I had tried to clear up once I got past Hunter, and I saw he got a run back on, so I hooked it to the left to get off of him. But that was a fun battle with Hunter. We were both running the bottom, so it was like, well, where am I going to pick up some time? So I went high and got the run off the backstretch and was able to get underneath him and make that work. But congratulations to Judson. He's really good here running that top, and it was just a lot of fun. And so that was good.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the P2 podium finish. Glad to have you back up in the booth for an interview again, and hope to see you up here again next week.
Thank you. And I appreciate what you guys do, putting on the broadcast and everything. You guys do a great job. Thanks.
That was Brandon Hinton. Next, we're going to have up in here with us Judson Curtis, the man of the hour. Congratulations on first place with the Whataburger number 35 truck. Man, I am so proud to see you up there in the winner's circle tonight.
Thank you, sir. It was always a blast. It's always fun up there racing with Hunter and everybody up there, and it's always a blast, man. Have fun. That's probably one of my favorite tracks.
Absolutely, and it showed. You ran that high line all night, and you ran it, flawless with precision. I really there's not a whole lot of questions that I can ask. I mean, you let your truck do the talking tonight. It was fun to watch. Ryan, you got any questions for Judson?
Absolutely. Congrats on the win, Judson. My big question is the first stage break. You didn't take tires, I believe. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a set just in the back pocket, just in case, something got hairy there with maybe 15 or 20 to go. I had, an option laying there.
All right. Well, it worked out. It's nice to see you win again. It feels like every time I'm in the broadcast booth, you somehow win and I get to talk to you again. But congratulations.
I appreciate it, fellas. It's always a blast, and I enjoyed it.
Absolutely, Judson. Again, congratulations on the first place finish tonight. Hope to have you up in here again in the future. Anyway, that's going to close it out for us here at DES Premier Truck Series for the night. Come back and check us out tomorrow night with the Next Gen Racing. Ryan Godfrey, thank you for being up here in the booth with us tonight. It was a pleasure having you with us. Until
Thank
next
you for having
time.
me.
Yes, sir. Until next time, this is DES saying good night.